Hello, today we're going to be talking about RBF crystals versus the standard meta build with Hanhooms, Adamantines, etc. I'm just going to kind of try and get to the point here. So the special evasions are kind of necessary. Usually some people will kind of run the Kobe's, the RBF versions, which are okay. They're good, but the reason I stick with the evasions is because I notice the tankiness. So for those of you that are unfamiliar as to what special evasion does, it's like down attacks or air smashes, stuff like that. Things that are putting your opponent at a more of a, what's the word here? More of a better state than you. I honestly can't think of a fucking word, but basically if you're getting down attacked or air smashed or something like that, things that give you more negative damage or gives them more damage to their abilities, yeah, this will help with that. And since I have a fiery maneuver, which is basically my Garm Heart, you have another 10%. So on top of the 20 we have here, we get another 10, so that equals 30. So we're pretty stacked with the special evasion. That's actually not bad. I mean, it's very noticeable. As for the helmet, we're running the RBF Harfias, which give us 5 human damage apiece and 75 HP and HP recovery, which is whatever. Like, nobody cares about HP recovery. It's a meme. And for our boots, we're running the Histrias, which give us 7 human damage each and movement speed, which the movement speed is whatever. No, like, I have movement speed in my like outfit, so it's not that big a deal. Now with my gear, I will say I can get away with this because I only play large scale for the Zerker now, and whatever I have tagged is my grind character. So I'm not worried about grinding anymore. So for those of you that are only having one character at the moment and one crystal setup, you will need to be careful because my grind character has my Hanhooms, it has my extra gear and stuff like that that allows me to grind better. Because if you don't have Adamantines and Hanhooms, I can assure you, you will get knocked every 5 seconds. Like if you go to, let's say, Waragons or Star's End, right? They will CC you a fuck ton. I've tried it, and trust me, if you run Histrias instead of Adamantines and Hanhooms, you will feel the difference. So if you're grinding with the gear that I'm showing you right now with Harfias and Histrias, you're not gonna like it. This is strictly my large scale like PvP build. This is not 1v1s, this is not grinding, this is strictly I am going to node war siege build. So right out the gate, if that's what you wanted to know, if you can make this work in any other scenario, not really. 1v1s, you're gonna get shredded. This DP, I can promise you, I can fight someone with like 285 AP and they can still like one combo me. This will not save me. Can I still win 1v1s? Absolutely. If I get a CC or a knock, or I rotate my supers properly and I get a grab out with my Zerker, of course I can win 1v1s. It's fine. It's not, I'm not saying it's not doable. What I'm saying is that you will not survive. If you put the Hanhooms and Adamantines in, there's a more likely chance you will survive like a combo with this kind of DP for sure. So let's talk about the Harfias and the Histrias. Yes, to answer your question right out the gate, there is a noticeable damage difference. If you are doing a T1 node war or let's say Medaya Siege, which have AP caps, you will 1000% notice a damage increase in those scenarios. Now, to answer the other question is it noticeable outside of capped siege and capped node wars? Absolutely. On Monday, I did a node war against Seppuku as well as Havoc, and I dropped 80 plus kills with 17 deaths only. So that's a pretty solid KD. Like that's really fucking solid. So with that being said, the biggest problem is your tankiness, which if you know how to play your class, you can get around that. I know how to play Zerker very well. I've been playing it for a long time. I know how to position. I know how to Q buff properly. I know how to go in, get out, in all that stuff. And I know how to rotate my supers very well. And I stick with my ball and follow my shot caller's orders, etc., etc. So obviously, when it comes to large scale, if you know how to play your class well, you can, of course, human damage is going to work. Not every single class can run this. Like, I'm almost positive, like hardcore melee classes, I don't think y'all can get away with stuff like this because you have to be in the mix. Like, if you're a ball diver, like let's say Mystic, I don't think Harfias would work. Like, I can't for sure say that because I'm not a Mystic, but I can't imagine that Hanhooms are going to be worse than this. Like, there's no way. Like, Hanhooms have to be like core for Mystic. If you run Harfias and Histrias, like I just the moment I see you, I'm just gonna grab you. And like, at least with Adamantines you can resist. Hanhooms, same thing, there's resist there too. There's evasion, like more accuracy as well for if you're an evasion class. Like if you're an evasion class, I don't think you can get away with Harfias and Histrias. I don't know. I'm not going to say that for 100%, just take it with a grain of salt, but I don't think it works too well. I can only speak about my class and how it's working for me so far, which as of recently, like I said, 80 plus kills and 17 deaths only. That's about as solid as it gets in terms of performance. So let's talk really quick about accuracy, because without the Hanhums, you're going to notice an accuracy drop. So right now we're running Tent Buff, Exquisite Cron Meal, the lowest accuracy you can get from Church Buff, and the lowest DP you can get from Church Buff, as well as a Drought. So that puts us at a grand total of 824 accuracy. Most people are not going to run Distos because they're still running Tungrads, but just to point it out, Distos do give 14 accuracy, which is really good, and that's why I stick with them. And since I have a full C9 Dandy, this gives me extra accuracy from Caphras, so this is also very solid. So let's kind of change this build to, like, let's say something more reasonable. So most people will run Tungrad Earrings, most people will have a Tet Crescent along with a Pen Kaposha, and most people aren't going to have a Fiery Nuver. They're going to have like a Pen, and then they're going to like C3 Dandy at Pen. And I guess we can drop the armor back down to C3 as well, just to put things into kind of a more just perspective of a newer player to Siege and large scale and stuff like that. So if we take a look here, this is actually still relatively good. This is 809 accuracy. We still reach the, the 800 part where we're still solid with accuracy. And yeah, this is still doable. The DP, not as good, but the AP is actually still very solid. You can still insta-kill people with this in Siege and Node Wars. I mean, you're still good. Like, there's really nothing bad about this. It really just depends on your class, and that's something that you're going to have to do research into. But for me as a Zerker, I could work with this. With 290 AP, 331 DP, and human damage crystals and special evasion, I could make this work 100%. Now, if we were to, let's say, like, drop this down to like Tet, for example, all the gear, like if we drop everything to Tet, and you're like, well, I want to get into Node Wars and Sieges, but I only have this kind of gear. Yeah, this is not gonna fucking work. This is this is a no-go. One, you're under the accuracy of 800, which is not what you want. Not only that, but you're only 280 AP. Let's say we'll just step it up, 281. At least you reach a bracket here. So 281 AP, 310 DP. The DP is what's gonna kill you 100%. Anything that breathes on you will instantly kill you if you have 310 DP. Like, I assure you, if you're in a Siege guild or Node War guild and you have this DP and you go against me, I'm going to literally sneeze on you and you will pass away. Like, I could do anything. I could knee kick you and you lose half your fucking health. At least if you had the Hanhums instead of the Harfias and Histrias, you would be able to tank a little bit more. Would it be that much of a difference? Not really. It would be enough to be at least be like, you can 1v1 still fight for your spot. Like, if you have this gear, you shouldn't be looking at human damage because you need to worry about your gear getting up there first. Like, I would only recommend going human damage if you are full pen. If you are not full pen and this is what your gear looks like, do not even bother. DP's too low, AP's too low. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Even though I would say the accuracy is not that bad because I've definitely worked with lower accuracy than this, so I will at least give you merit to that. But the fact that your DP is only 310 is going to be your bottleneck of survivability. You'll get killed. Most people right now have this AP 281. That's like the average that most people have. So if you go up, if as 310 DP go up against somebody with 281, you will still pass away. 1000%. You'll still pass away. 281 on a lot of classes, like Ninja, 310 DP versus a 265 Ninja. They can serpent you and kill you. That's how shitty 310 DP is. Like, this is nothing. And especially if you're running Harfias and Histrias in your boots and helm, 310 DP is going to be even less because you're not going to have the Hanhum tankiness. So yeah, don't bother. If you don't have pens and you're not full pen with at least C3 armor, don't even bother with human damage or, anything. Like, just don't even bother. Just stick to your Hanhums and keep that there until you are full pen. Accuracy is a huge part of the entire build, not to mention the DP is going to play a huge part. Just full pen is really what you want, and I cannot stress that enough. Without it, you are going to feel death so much harder than what you're willing to work for. That's pretty much it. To answer everyone's questions, yes, human damage works In Siege, regular node wars, T2 plus, you will notice a difference, but you're going to have to play your class extremely well in position and make sure you're not getting caught out every 5 seconds, because this build will make you less tankier. So that you just have to remember that you will be very squishy with this build, even if you're playing a beefy class like Zerker, for example, or even Striker, which I'm not even sure these would work on Striker, but if you're playing a Zerker, you can actually work with this. It actually does do relatively well. But anyway, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Yeah, she knows I'm the one. Yeah, she knows I don't need no kind, I don't need no